What's up, everybody? Ben Reza here for Odd Shopper, and it's here. Not week zero. We did week zero. Not Thursday night football. We did that. Not Friday night football, but Saturday, week one, college football. A ton of games. Are there a lot of blowouts? Yes. Are there a lot of FCS schools? Yes. But there's also some huge matchups across the landscape, across the country, national title, playoff implications, and it's just fun. So we got a lot to break down. I'm going to break down all the big games, talk about where I'm looking to play my boosts, what sides I'm leaning to. We might put a few bets in on this video ourselves. We'll see where we go. Put them right in on tails, and we'll talk about all that. But I want to welcome you to the channel. All things betting here at Odd Shopper. Picks, tools, breakdown, college football, NFL, baseball, basketball soon enough. You like betting sports? You want to learn a thing or two? You want to have some fun as well? We hope you'll stick with us and you'll enjoy it. If you do, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Let's dive into it. We had a successful week zero on this video. Kansas State was the only miss. Everything else was awesome. Kansas was great. Hawaii slipped through. The overs got there. And so far this week, it's been a little touch and go. I'm filming, full disclosure, on Friday, so I don't know what happened in those games. Hopefully we won all our bets. I have a video on this very channel breaking them down. But we're not talking about Tarleton State or Army or any of these teams. We're talking about the big schools, the big names. And that's talking, that's a big game. But I'm talking even bigger. I'm talking Texas, Ohio State. I'm talking Alabama, Florida State. These type of big time games. Let's get into it. Let's start knocking them off. And we'll start in, chronological order. The noon kickoff. Now, I want to talk about Merrimack and Kent State, but that's frowned upon. If you want to hear about that, I'll tell you away later in the video. Okay, here we go. Texas and Ohio State in the shoe at noon, high noon. Texas -1.5. I think the public is on Texas. It seems like everybody's on Texas. I'm kind of on Texas too. You got a boost on this game on several sites. I'm going to be using it on the Texas side and on the under. Maybe a first half under as well. I like that angle. This is a game I look at. So we've got Arch, who everyone wants to see. We also have Mr. Sayan on the other side. I hope I'm not butchering the name. Talented quarterback for Ohio State, but Will Howard is gone. All of the Ohio State front is gone, particularly on defense. There's a lot of moving parts. Now, when you talk about a game of this caliber, every single position's loaded. So that's where it gets a little tricky. Like Ohio State and Texas, they lost a lot, but they simply reload. So it's just a matter of, are there going to be any gaps to expose? And then how quickly can these teams mesh? So let's go through it real quick. Obviously, we saw Arch a little bit. We haven't seen him take on a full-time game with 110,000 bearing down on you. That is going to be a little different, but he's shown some mobility, and I do think he's going to play pretty well. Both O-lines, I think, probably take a step back here. To me, Texas still has the better O-line, and I feel much better about Texas up front. Now, it's funny to say that because, again, Texas did lose a lot on that front seven. Their secondary, though, is so good, I really think they'll be able to allocate extra resources to stopping the run here. We know about Jeremiah Smith on the other side. We know Ohio State, again, they lost a couple elite running backs, Judkins, Henderson. They bring in guys. They got a West Virginia transfer there, Peoples as well. They've got guys. It's going to come down to probably quarterback play, turnovers, all that good stuff, which is why I think an under is in play. Conservative play calling, maybe a little run happy scheme for both. But when it comes down to it, and I know that Caleb Downs is there and Ohio State still has plenty on this defense. They lost so much from that defense, particularly up front. I think this could take some time. And I think Texas is going to go in there and get the job done. It's a game. You have boosts. You absolutely should use them. Is it the best game on the board, independent of the boosts? It's not my favorite, to be honest. The line has been bouncing around. Texas has taken that money, and it's starting to show. I don't think it's going to cross 3 or anything like that. If that happens, I think you have to seriously reevaluate everything I'm talking about right here. But for me, seeing -1.5 at -105, let's go over to DraftKings. We'll see. Yeah, -1.5 at -108. I'm fine with clicking that. You can also either of these. And again, look to a first half under. Let's see what we got here. First half, spread, total 23.5. Obviously, these are key numbers. If we could have got 24.5, we'd be paying a lot more, but that would be a lot more favorable. I'll have to look into that. Let's see if we can find anything else. But that is a good, turnovers can always mask this, but 22.5 reduced juice. You lose 13-10. Okay. Still reasonable. Still reasonable, but I'm fine with that. These are the angles in this game. Ultimately, I'm not bringing any news here. I think both these teams are going to be fine. They're going to be good. I don't think this is a big deal if you lose this game. Texas is going to be there in the end, and I think Ohio State has a very real chance. I don't think they're going to repeat because it's just incredibly difficult to do that, but they're going to be a problem. So one game down, the big time game, and Texas is the side for us. All right, let's scroll. You see, again, a lot of these like just ridiculously big spreads. This is a cool game. I don't really have, it's early on Friday. Here we go. Okay. I like this game for a couple different reasons. So, Old Dominion is a team that I'm buying in life. I think they're going to be pretty good this year. They caused some problems in non-con last year. They didn't win the games, but they played teams like South Carolina very, very close. I like their coaching staff, which returns intact. Mr. Joseph at quarterback, I think he can take a step forward. The defense looks good. They have an All-American in Henderson at linebacker, and they return a lot there. There are some serious concerns with the team, particularly pass catchers. They did lose a decent amount up front as well. That's going to be question marks, but I'm a believer in Old Dominion. So 23.5 is a lot of points, step one. Let's talk about Indiana, though, then we'll formulate some plays. Okay, Indiana, amazing last year. That Signetti is awesome. They were awesome. You make the playoff. I don't want to say overachieved. They certainly exceeded expectations. They played an absolute joke of a schedule. I don't care what anyone says about that besides Ohio State. This is another easy game for them at home. You get a big number to cover, and this defense lost a lot. They were a top 10 unit last year. They lost a lot. Multiple pieces up front, multiple pieces in the secondary. How good will they be? That's a question mark on defense. Mendoza from Cal comes in. How good will he be? Can he limit the turnovers? At times, he's made some mistakes. Not really a dual threat either. I'm not the biggest fan of. I think he's fine. I don't think it's a huge upgrade. Far from it, honestly. In that regard, they still have a lot of weapons. The O-line could absolutely whip Old Dominion up front. That could be a serious issue. Old Dominion likes to play fast, so we're starting to formulate potentially an over. Doesn't help us with our points, but we're still getting a lot of them. That's kind of the angles on this game. So let's see what we can find. And then we're going to, again, dive into a play here. And it's going to be on the dog, if anything. This is what I'm looking for. Okay. 24.5 at minus 118. Ding, ding, ding. This is why you want to shop. This is why you want to use Odd Shopper as well. This can do all this for you. I'm just doing it the old-fashioned way here. 24.5. We get over the key number. We don't lay that much more juice. That's the spot I want to attack. It's a macro buy on Old Dominion. I totally respect Indiana. Indiana might be just as good as they were last year. I also could make a case for the over. I have not put these in an official plays. Don't quote me on that. I am going to take this Old Dominion line right now. I'm actually going to do it on the video. And it brings me right to Tails, which is something I want to talk about. Of course, if you're not on Tails, what are you doing? You're missing out on a ton of free content. Also ways to get involved in the community and all that stuff. And this is how it works, man. It's super simple. If you follow me there, you could be part of the nearly 2,000 people that do. Anytime I send out a pick, if it's free, it goes right to your device and you get alerted and you can tail that, fade that, do whatever you want with it. Certainly if you're in Discord in the premium version as well, you'll be getting even more. We talk through stuff, all that stuff. But let's do some things right now. And I'm actually just going to type this in. You can go right to our live odds screen as well. Let's see if these games are up. We're doing multiple things at once on, oh yeah, 24.5. Yeah, okay. There we go. I'll take it. What do we got? Minus 120. Onyx odds. Sure. Done. Look at this. Old Dominion. I'm going to make a little note. DK also has minus 118 available at 24.5. Boom. 1.18 units. Whoops. Here we go. We're in business, friends. And that is how we roll. I put that in. That's the beautiful thing. Everyone gets that alert right now. They can go to DraftKings. They can go to Onyx Odds. They can go to wherever they play. Maybe they're on the exchanges. You get even better prices there. That simple, super cool, super easy. Just to tie it all together, you go in now. Bang, bang, bang. Tail it right there. I'm telling you right now, get to oddshopper.com. Get to the Tails Marketplace. All you have to do is press follow. You get that pick for free. Absolutely. All the free content. It is that simple. Super easy, super fun. It's going to be a great year. I'll talk about some of the other things as well. That's how we're doing it. I want that number too. Or 52.5. I'm not going to put it in just yet. That's the side I'd lean to. I think Old Dominion will find ways to score. I think Indiana's definitely going to find ways to score. I just hope they keep it respectable because we need to keep this inside the number. All right. 2 down, handful more to go. If there's any games that I don't cover, please, please, please. If you're in my Discord, obviously I'm in there all the time. Just ping me. If you're not though, tweet me at JazzRazBets. Just ask me. I would be happy to talk about any game that you want. Doesn't mean I'm gonna have an edge, but if you want my opinion, happy to give it. How about an opinion on Alabama and Florida State? Another game where it's pretty lopsided. We're nearing 2 touchdowns here, and we got a lot of unknowns. Particularly, let's see what Alabama's quarterback Simpson can do. Now he's got some experience. He's a 5-star like everybody else down there against the Boston College transfer and Castellanos on the other side. The difference to me right off the bat, one's playing against Alabama's defense and the other is not because he's on Alabama. So that's a lot easier of a situation. Alabama's defense is a problem for other teams. Let me clarify. They look good. They got a lot in that secondary. They got guys up front. They've got 5-stars everywhere. I think they're going to be really difficult to break down. Alabama's offensive line returns some big-time names as well. When you get portal guys going into Alabama, you're talking about guys from serious experience. Maybe making that step up, but like guys who were all conference selections, a ton of snaps, and Alabama's addressed a lot. You still have Ryan Williams. You still have all sorts of things. What does Florida State have? To be honest, I don't know. It obviously can't go as bad as it went. I think we all know that. This is just a tough spot, though. I wanted to go to an under, potentially. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to do that at 48.5. I think that Alabama is just simply going to slowly overpower them, and I'm not sure that Florida State's going to have a ton of success. It's ticked to 14, you could see here. The only play for me is a 13.5 potentially. I bet this is 7.5. I haven't looked, so it's not. I'm going to look like an idiot, but yeah, it is 7.5. Okay. Obviously, at 6.5, I would have played this at -104. It's just not. That's not the real number. Something like an Alabama first half might be an angle. Alabama, if they fall behind, hitting them live could be an angle. I want some exposure to the Crimson Tide. I just don't know exactly where or what. And I'm not in a huge rush to get it. I know this is going to tick to 14. We're already taking heavy juice. I'll let it marinate and see. I'm not going to bet Florida State in this spot. I think they're going to really struggle scoring. Maybe a team total, but even there, just doing quick math at this applied total, you're only talking about a few touchdowns. Yeah. 60, you're under the key number. 17.5 obviously would be a lot better. You're reducing juice at -102, but I'm not sure I really want to play that. A couple of plays and Florida State's kind of there. Still, takeaways from this game, short and sweet. I think Alabama is going to be much better this year. I think the defense is going to look fantastic. Simpson's going to have a ton of opportunities because he's got a good O-line in front of him. He's got weapons all over the place. They'll go into a hostile environment and look just fine. They get the job done, and I tend to think that they cover. All right. A couple more, and then we'll bounce on out of here. Again, you can get all of this over on the Tails app, and you're going to get much more there because I'm going to break down the secondary games. If you want to see it all, if you want to follow and subscribe and do all of it and get into the VIP, as they call it, it's like I said, let's be real. If you guys know me, I don't take myself too seriously. It's an awesome community. We're dropping bets. We're having fun. And we are finding edges. There's no doubt about it. If you want to see it all for yourself, go to tails.bet/jazzraz. I opened up the code. Again, I've said this every day. I'm opening it up. It's 15 people. You're one of the 15, you're in. It's that simple. $1 for a week. We can't do this forever. It just doesn't make sense. But I do like to get a lot of new faces in there. And this is a great way to do it. And it's a great deal for everybody. You get a full week for $1. You have to use that code though. So you go there and use that code. Hop in Discord. You're all set up on Tails. You're in business. All right. Here we go. My favorite bet of the big games. And you'll have a boost as well. If you watched anything from before the season, you are not going to be surprised at where I'm going when we talk about the game, and it's LSU and Clemson. So it's Death Valley versus Death Valley. Let's see what this line is. Okay. Yeah, we'll be. We don't need to have any suspense here, actually. We don't want to do that. Just as a placeholder. Let's talk about it. Let's get to it. LSU, who has not been good in these openers. That doesn't mean, I don't actually think that means a whole lot, to be completely honest. But it's not the best situation I've ever seen for them and Brian Kelly and the pressure that he'll be under. And they're hitting, this is a serious road game. This is no neutral site in Las Vegas or whatever is going on. This is a difficult place to play. And I'm not the biggest Dabo guy, but I will give them respect that they're very tough to beat at home. So let's talk about the teams. LSU, okay. Nussmeier, he was working behind a pretty damn good offensive line. Some of these guys, you saw him walk across the stage not that long ago and shake Roger Goodell's hand. Will Campbell comes to mind. They lost a lot off this offensive line. So he could be seriously feeling the heat here. It's not to say that they're devoid of options. It's LSU. They've got weapons all over the place. Offensively, I think they're going to be pretty good. But I worry about the offensive line. Clemson also lost a lot on the offensive line, but I think LSU lost more important players, in my opinion. Now, Clemson has Cade Klubnik. It wasn't just straight rocket ship for him, but I think he got where he needed to go. He's a Heisman contender, one of the favorites, and he should be. He can move. He's got experience. He's seen it all. He's at home here. He's got weapons all over the field, too. Those wide receivers are all back. They'll address the backfield. They'll have plenty of options. I'm not worried about any of it. Need to hold up on the O-line. He's got Clemson's defense working for him. Clemson's defense, I think this looks like the old Clemson's defense, where they have the dominant D-line. They've got timely shutdown corners, and they just do enough everywhere else. They still have really good linebackers, let's be serious. But there were times where the Clemson defensive line was just like unreal good. And I think that this D-line is looking like that. The secondary has a few shutdown guys in their realm as well. I'm pretty high on this Clemson team, man. I have futures on them to win it all. That may be a stretch too far, but I think they're going to handle LSU. I really do. LSU's defense, stupid talented. They always are. I'm not sold that they're going to be that good, though. I'm really not. 57.5 point total, I think, speaks to that. Clemson's going to move the ball. It's not going to be crazy. It's not going to be dominant. But Clemson, I think, has some advantages. And if Klubnik avoids the turnovers, avoids the big sacks, I think they're going to have decisive opportunities to open this game up. It's not to say that Nussmeier can't bring them back, but to me, LSU has more questions, and I think that the Clemson D-line could cause a lot of problems for the LSU O-line in this game. I'm keeping this pretty short and pretty sweet. There's boosts. They will be on the Clemson side for me. You can moneyline parlay this. Obviously, shop it. I will lay 4. I might even look to lay like 9.5 and see what that number is. Maybe a Clemson first half. This is the type of game I might look to some exotics or ladders or things like that. I like Clemson a lot. I know I'm going to be on them. There's no doubt. This will be another one that'll be going up on tails momentarily. Clemson for me. All right. Let's see. No. Don't think we're gone just yet. Wrong button, everyone. Let's go to one more game, and then we'll get out of here. And again, I know I skipped over a dozen FCS games and some of these secondary games. Can't do them all in the video. I will be breaking down them all. Discord is going to be full of them, so you know how to get involved. The link's in the description of these videos, by the way. Both the free picks page and how to get involved with me. Those links are there. If nothing else, click them and read about it and see so you know. And if you, like I said, if you want free content dropping, you just press follow. It is that simple. I want to talk about this late night game, though, in Utah and UCLA. This is a game that I didn't really plan to have a lot from, and now I do. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm betting the over. I like this number, 51.5 at minus 105. Again, we'll shop it. But let's talk about the teams. You got two transfer quarterbacks. Dampier comes in from New Mexico. Yima Oliva from Tennessee. I always try to get that name right. I think both offenses are going to have some success here. I think the tempos won't be crazy, but they won't be snail's pace either. Utah is going to be good up front, really good. So Dampier, who's mobile, which helps, is going to have a lot of opportunities to make those plays. Utah's D-line is going to be good, no doubt about it. But the rest of their defense, I think, is actually pretty weak. And I trust UCLA to have some opportunities. UCLA brought in a lot of guys on the portal. I think they did a decent job in terms of addressing some of the problems defensively. But I still look at them, and I think that Utah's going to put up some points. Utah's nearly a touchdown favorite here. It's a tempo-centric number. And what I mean by that, I don't think that the books are telling us that they don't think these teams are going to be able to score a lot. I think they're saying the possessions could be limited. And for that reason, again, 50.5, this is even better. 7 cents for points, about debatable. But yeah, I would take that. Again, I don't think that they're going to play crazy slow. These guys were both in the bottom half, but there were some coordinator changes. And I actually think the game could open up a little bit. So I'm not going to give you a side here. If I had to play a side, it would be Utah, just because I'm really, really falling in love with this offensive line. And I really like Dampier. I think he's a cool transfer. I think he's a true dual threat. This guy can really move. Seen a lot of New Mexico football in my time. Why, I don't know, but it's true. He has opportunities to really make this team go. And in a wide open Big 12, Utah could do it. We saw Kansas State and Iowa State last week. I don't know, man. It was Dublin and it was week 0, but that opportunity is massive for this team. Starts with UCLA. Again, that's not going to determine the Big 12 for obvious reasons. I think it's going to give us a pretty good spot to attack a number here. Give me the over in Utah and UCLA. All right. Quick rundown before I get out of here, because I did throw a lot out. Let's see what we have on the screen in terms of potential plays. Old Dominion, 24.5. I already took that. Clemson, -4. I know I'm going to take that. I like this number with the over. UCLA and Utah over 50.5. Over on FanDuel, some of the same. Again, I don't think you need to double up. But we've got some Clemson money line in there. I'm certainly not going to bet this twice. Maybe the over in Old Dominion, Indiana. And then I talked about Texas. I'm going to be on Texas in some fashion. I'm just not sure what yet. So we'll see as we get closer to kickoff. Alabama was a game we talked about. Another one where I do lean to the Tide. I just don't think that there's a ton that leapt off the page for me just yet. But man, I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see these games. I hope you guys are as excited as I am. We just went through some of the marquee ones, but there's still Syracuse and Tennessee, Toledo and Kentucky, UMass and Temple. If you want to get really crazy, Kent State and Merrimack. Yes, Kent State and their over 1.5 win total will be put to the test immediately. And they are 6.5 point favorite. And no joke, I bet that game. I'll leave you with that. But friends, as always, I love talking college football, and you guys make it fun. Everyone who tunes in and watches this, it is appreciated. Thanks again, and I hope to see you over at OddsShopper and on Tail. So on that note, let's see what week 1 Saturday brings us. Good luck. Enjoy the games. Stay tuned for college football all year here at OddsShopper.